Previously on XXIV, Kuroko Shirai had fully healed from her injury from 3 days ago. Almost immediately, Tetsuo Yoshikawa, the Japanese spy, pays her a visit not to recruit her, but to warn her about a great danger coming to Academy City. After much talk, she heads off to the 177 branch office, and she, Satin, Uiharu, and Konori finally knows the real truth of what is going on. But the time for reaction and preparation is null and void because the Celtic Republic of Ireland carried out a bombing raid on all districts of the city. The story continues as Kamijou and the magic side finds out about this unprecedented turn of events. Still parked near the Wako Clock Tower in Ginza, Kamijou, Othinus, and Index looks away from Prime Minister McIntyre. Wow. That was a lot to take in. Othinus crosses her arms, looking down. Montgomery looks to Kanzaki. You knew about this? Kanzaki lowers her head in shame, covering her eyes with her bangs. I didn't want to scare you or worry you so much. I'm sorry. And I myself did not want to make things worse if the truth was revealed at the wrong time. The teenagers of former Magic God are bewildered, at a loss of words even, and McIntyre and his pupil are waiting for their response. You know, usually I will be thrown for a loop and just go completely insane, but I'm kind of relieved. I was wondering why all of this was happening, but it's starting to make sense now. Yeah, I'm with you. Honestly, I wish you could have brought this up sooner. I would have saved myself from biting Touma's head off. Well, yeah. So, you are accepting my words as the truth? Kamijou turns his head to him. At first, no. But after some thinking, I'm coming around to it. I can finally relax knowing about it now. Kaori walks around the gargoyle, grabs and holds her master's hands up. And I told you on the day that you told me and showed me the truth, no matter where you came from or what you truly are, you will always be my sensei and an amazing friend. Francis is a little shook by her words. Kamijou, Index, and Othinus leans forward, giving the man a smile and a thumbs up. He closes his eyes, breathing a sigh of relief. Thank you. The clock strikes 7:28 p.m. as the 5 hears Godzilla's victorious roar. They look ahead, with their smiles disappearing and becoming more serious. Kanzaki lets go of McIntyre's hands as he turns his body ahead. He has won. Kamijou turns his head to him. What? Madame Misaka had faced off against him, and she has failed. Hearing his words, Kamijou's reaction is one of worry. I have to go get her! Do not. Her help is already here. Touma is a bit confused, but then his mind drifts back to the night of January 3rd and seeing Francis giving Shirai a healing syringe. Oh, I forgot about that. Although, why would Shirai appear here in Tokyo? He shakes his head and turns his attention back to the fore. Anyhow, now that you know the truth, are you still willing to put your lives on the line? Of course. We've gotten this far, haven't we? We're here until the end, Sensei. I'm going to hate every second of this, but yes. All right. Then the clock strikes 7:30 p.m. Well, it is about time that you finally realize what and who you are and where we came from. A voice, a familiar voice, sends a chill down their spines. They turn around and spot the Irish Prime Minister approaching them. And it is nice to inform the ones that you trust of our origin. Jonathan Zanoff stops in his tracks. Unfortunately, I wish you could have told them and your fiancé this sooner. Francis places his hand on the grip of the broadsword Gaia, and Jonathan places his on the grip of the axe hammer Hades. I was waiting for the right moment to tell them. Yet you told them at the wrong time. Hey, it doesn't matter. You're and Bagan is We got the help that we need. Well, let us all hope that this help will do you good. But, in saying that, it will not change the fate that has arrived to Academy City. From arrogance and determination to confusion almost instantly, Kamijou's phone starts ringing. He digs into his pocket and sees who is calling him. He quickly answers it. Satan, this is really not the time for this.
Touma! Oh God! Oh God!
Satan, calm down. What's wrong? They all hear distant booms followed by the propeller engines. They, except for Zanoff, looks up and spots the B-84s heading south towards the Pacific. What are those? Wait, those are... He did what? The others comes to a horrifying realization. McIntyre turns back to his brother, more furious than ever. You horrendous bastard! A promise is a promise. And I told the boy this was going to happen.
Santen, where are you now? Near Tokyo Tower, on 131st Avenue.
Don't move, we'll be right there. He hangs up the phone and turns on the engine of the cruiser motorcycle. Index grabs his waist as he revs the engine. A sense of energy hits McIntyre. Kamijou, wait! Something crashes on the road in front of them. It soon clears, revealing it to be Orel, the former Aqua of the rear, and the Knight Leader Marshall, driven into the ground. The way in which they crashed on the ground means one thing is clear. The Kaiju Bagan lands on its feet 30 yards away from the group. It immediately spots Kamijou, Othinus, and Index. It breathes in and fires white plasma breath. Kamijou sticks his right hand out and blocks the blast. He struggles to cancel it, and blood is starting to spill out. Kanzaki unsheathes her Seven Heaven sword, dashes forward, jumps, and swings to her right at the beast's face. Bagan stops firing, and Kamijou relaxes his hand. Zanoff unsheathes Hades and dashes forward, swinging it for his head. His brother, with his sword drawn, gets in between them and blocks him, creating a massive shockwave. Drive! The boy revs the engine, and the bike takes off. Index wraps her arms around his waist tightly, and Othinus jumps to behind his shoulder. He turns to the right and heads down the street. Bagan spreads its wings, jumps across, and lands within the crossroads. It swings his right hand at the approaching gargoyle. The rock golem Ellis, with Cromwell on its back, materializes and grows up to 80 meters thanks to the assistance of McIntyre's Gaia and blocks the massive hand. The motorcycle drives under the two beasts' legs and continues on, turning left. Bagan turns his body, chasing after them. Ellis grabs his tail, stopping it and pulling it back. Zanoff runs at high speeds, chasing after the bike, while Bagan is distracted. Approaching it, he swings Hades to his right. Kamijou moves the bike out of the way, dodging the blade. The blade digs into the ground, but it starts to glow white. White flame shoots and moves on the ground, nearly hitting the subway trains. It digs into the ceiling and bursts out of the street within an intersection. It darts to the bike. Kamijou blocks it with his right hand and refuses to slow down. TFTTR. Using spell interception, the fire bends and turns to the right. Kamijou puts his hand back on the handle and turns the motorcycle, drifting to the left, and drives down Hanatsubaki Street. Further down the road, he, Index, and Othinus spots a squad of the ACDS 10th Armored Regiment. They tell the men to get out of the way, but they cannot hear them. Ellis crashes on the road ahead in front of the squad, and Bagan plants his foot on the concrete beast. The men scrambles and fires their rifles at the two. Bagan turns and fires white plasma breath at them. An explosion erupts, and the gargoyle makes a sharp turn to the right. The beast turns its attention to it and flies up in the air, chasing after them. Ellis materializes and punches the beast in the face. Not affected, it grabs it and throws it. Kamijou turns, dodging Ellis. Bagan flies up above the towers, firing its breath down below. TFBTO! The flame spins and hits Bagan's stomach, stopping it mid-flight. The gargoyle drives under the Ueno Tokyo line. Zanoff appears from a cone of flames, swinging Hades to the left. McIntyre pops out of a portal, blocking the blade. Kamijou drives through the portal and appears on Kokaidori Street. He hits the brakes, stopping the vehicle, and looks back. Did we lose them? Bagan flies up, spots the teens and former magic god, and flies towards them. No, we didn't! The gargoyle revs and accelerates. Getting closer, the kaiju swings its hand down. Kamijou sharply turns to the left down 301st Avenue. Down the street, he, Othinus, and Index spots Kanzaki. She holds her sword upside down and waits. The gargoyle drives past her. She swings her blade behind her to her right, cutting through the business tower. Behind it, Ellis, Marshall, and Orwell pushes it, tilting it over. Kanzaki runs out of the way, and the tower collapses onto Bagan, bringing it out of the sky and onto the ground. Index looks back, then turns back ahead. You know, I'm kind of glad that you became friends with these people. So am I. We're near Tokyo Tower, so hang on!